Loving you is how I stop expecting more. Not lowering standards, not giving up, but understanding that enough is already here. I don't look past what's in front of me. I don't ask love to be louder or brighter. I let it be what it is. Loving you is how I stop expecting more from moments. I don't demand that every day feel meaningful. Some days just pass, and passing is a lie. Loving you is how I stop expecting more from myself. I don't turn life into a constant project. I don't need to improve every version of me. You meet me where I am. Loving you is how I stop expecting more from us. I don't compare our love to stories or ideas. I live inside what's real, and that feels calmer. Loving you is how I stop expecting more from time. I don't rush seasons, I let things ripen when they do. Love doesn't bloom on demand. Loving you is how I stop expecting more from certainty. I don't need to know how everything will end. I stay in what's unfolding. Loving you is how I stop expecting more from happiness. I don't chase constant joy. I appreciate quiet contentment. Loving you is how I stop expecting more, because love doesn't need to exceed, it needs to endure. Loving you is how I stop expecting more into sleep. No anticipation, no disappointment, just rest inside enough. Loving you is how I stop needing to be seen. I used to want recognition as proof that I existed. Loving you is how I learned that being witnessed is different from being watched. Loving you is how I learned that I don't need to narrate my pain. Pain softens when it ignites this flame. Loving you is how I learned to live quietly without shrinking. Quiet is not Loving you is how I stop running, not from pain, not from fear, but from myself. I used to move fast, thinking speed meant safety. Now I know stillness can hold me. Loving you is how I stop running in the way I ride. I don't rush into the room, I don't brace myself. I enter already relaxed. My body recognizes this place, this person. Loving you is how I stop running from emotion. I don't push sadness away, I don't chase happiness. I let feelings come and sit. You don't flinch when I'm quiet. You don't demand that I explain. Loving you is how I stop running from conflict. I don't shut down, I don't leave. I stay uncomfortable because staying matters. Love deepens in that choice. Loving you is how I stop running from the future. I don't obsess over what comes next. I trust what we're building day by day, moment by moment. Loving you is how I stop running from being seen. I don't curate myself, I don't polish edges. You know my flaws and you stay. That teaches me how to stay too. Loving you is how I stop running when life feels demanding. The world asks for more than I can give. With you, I don't have to prove. I can rest. Loving you is how I stop running. As time moves forward, I don't fear routine. I welcome it. Routine becomes ground. Loving you is how I stop running into sleep. I lay down without unfinished thoughts, knowing nothing is chasing me anymore. La 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 la.
Loving you is how I stop trying to be ahead of my own life. I used to lean forward constantly, as if the present were something to escape. I treat it now like a hallway leading somewhere better. Loving you is how I learned that now is not a passage, it is the room. Loving you is how I stop measuring my days against imagined futures. Futures are quiet until they arrive. Loving you is how I learned to stop asking if I am late, late to understanding, late to success, late to peace. There is no schedule for becoming. Loving you is how I learned that growth does not announce itself. One day I noticed I was calmer without remembering when that happened. Loving you is how I learned to stay with boredom.
Boredom is not emptiness,
It is space before noticing. Loving you that not every emotion requires interpretation. Some feeling just pass through.
Loving you is how I learn.
Loving you is how I learn to stop narrating my life while living it. I don't need to explain every choice, even to myself. Loving you is how I learned that stability can feel unfamiliar. Chaos used to feel like movement. Stillness felt suspicious. Now stillness
Feels like ground.
feels like ground.
Loving you is how I learn
To trust what is consistent, not what is intense.
Loving you is how I learn.
Loving you is how I learned that presence is an act of courage. It means staying when nothing distracts.
Loving you is how I learn.
To let days be incomplete.
I don't finish everything.
And that is not failure.
It's how I live.
You
Is how I learn. Loving you is how I learn.
to let joy be quiet. Joy doesn't always sparkle. Sometimes it settles. Loving you is how I learned to stop trying to be ahead of my own life. Because life was never chasing me. It was walking beside me.
Loving you is how I learn. Loving you is how I learn.
Loving you is how I learn to trust. Stillness. I used to believe that stillness meant something had stopped, that nothing was happening. Loving you is how I learned that stillness is full.
It holds movement without showing it. Loving you is how I learned to sit without reaching. Reaching keeps the body leaning forward. Stillness lets it arrive. Loving you is how I learned that the heart does not need constant stimulation. It needs space to beat honestly. Loving you is how I learned to stop confusing calm with emptiness.
Calm is not blank. It is coherent.
Loving you is how I learned to let silence stay longer. Silence rearranges what noise tangles. Loving you is how I learned that my worth does not depend on momentum.
I remain even when nothing advances. Loving you is how I learned to notice subtle motion. Breeze shifting, light moving, a thought dissolving. These are events. Loving you is how I learned that presence often feels neutral.
Neutral.
Is stable.
Loving you is how I learn.
To trust days that feel paused pause does not mean abandon.
Loving you is how I learn
To stop filling space out of habit. Habit can be loud.
Loving you is how I learn
That stillness is not waiting. It is participation without force.
Loving you is how I learn
To trust stillness, because stillness has been carrying me all along.
loving you.
Loving you is how I learned to trust the days that feel uneventful. I used to think a day had to prove itself to deserve being remembered. Something had to happen, something had to change. Loving you is how I learned that most days do not announce their value. They carry it quietly. Loving you is how I learned to wake up without expectation. Expectation weighs on simple moments. Loving you is how I learned that uneventful does not mean empty. It means stable. It means nothing is demanding to be rescued. Loving you is how I learned to stop scanning my feelings for excitement. Not every day wants to be intense. Some days wanna be safe.
Loving you is how I learn that peace often feels like nothing happening.
The nervous system finally unclenches.
Loving you is how I learn
To appreciate continuity. The fact that things remain is already a miracle.
Loving you is how I learn
To sit through hours without narration, no inner commentary, just living. Loving you is how I learned that memories built from repetition, not highlights.
Loving you is how I learn to trust a light that doesn't sparkle.
Sparkle fades.
Steadiness stays. Loving you is how I learn
That
that love
does not require momentum. It requires availability. Loving you is how I learned to trust the days that feel uneventful. Because these are the days that hold everything else together.
Loving you is how I learn to trust what does not announce itself. I used to believe important things would arrive loudly, with certainty, with clarity, with proof. Loving you is how I learned that the most meaningful things often arrive quietly, so quietly. They can be mistaken for nothing.
Loving you is how I learned to stop scanning my life for signs. Signs distracted me from presence. Loving you is how I learned. Loving you is how I learned
that subtlety is not weakness, it is refinement. Loving you is how I learn to notice small shifts, a breath that deepens, a thought that loosens, a moment that softens. These changes do not declare themselves, they simply occur. Loving you is how I learn. Loving you is how I learn to notice small shifts, a breath that deepens, a thought that loosens, a moment that softens. These changes, loving you is how do not declare themselves, they simply occur. Loving you is how I learned that trust grows without ceremony. Trust grows through continuity, through showing up again and again. Loving you is how I learned to stop needing reassurance in obvious forms. Reassurance lives in consistency. Loving you is how I learned to feel safety without explanation. Safety feels like not bracing.
Loving you is how I learn.
Loving you is how I learned to recognize peace, even when it feels plain. Peace does not sparkle, it steadies.
Loving you is how I learn.
Loving you is how I learned to trust days that pass unnoticed. Unnoticed days are carrying everything. Loving you is how I learned that depth does not rush, depth accumulates over time.
Loving you is how I learn.
Loving you is how I learned to trust what does not announce itself, because what does not announce itself is not trying to leave, it is already here.
Loving you is how I
Loving you is how I learn to trust what does not rush me, what does not pull my attention forward, what does not demand proof of progress to justify its presence in my life. I used to associate care with urgency, with intensity, with the feeling that something important might be lost if I did not move quickly enough. Loving you is how I learned that urgency often masks insecurity.
What is secure
Does not hurry. Loving you is how I learned to notice how my body reacts to being allowed to move slowly, how resistance appears first, how impatience rises, how the nervous system searches for threat when stimulation drops. Stillness reveals habits. Loving you is how I learned to stay with that initial discomfort instead of escaping it through activity, through thinking, through planning futures that feel safer than the present moment. The present does not negotiate. Loving you is how I learned that trust grows not when things go well, but when nothing goes wrong for long enough. Safety is built in uneventful time. Loving you is how I learned to stop testing reality, to see if it would collapse when I relax. We We've act ceasing did not invite disaster.
It invited clarity.
Loving you is how I learned that what is real does not require vigilance to stay intact.
Vigilance exhausts love.
Loving you is how I learned to let connection breathe, to allow space without interpreting it as distance, to allow quiet without translating it as disinterest. Silence is not absence
When trust is present.
Loving you is how I learned to trust what does not rush me, because what rushes often wants something from me.
What does not rush is willing to stay, and staying changes everything without announcing that it had.
Loving you is how I learn to trust what is quiet in me. I used to ignore the quiet parts. They didn't argue, they didn't insist, they waited. Loving you is how I learned that what is love is not always true. Now often wants attention, quiet wants permission. Loving you is how I learned to notice the space between thoughts. That space is not empty, it is a word. Loving you is how I learned that intuition does not shine, it nudges softly. Loving you is how I learned to stop overriding. Now it a signals ignore, it comes simple. Loving you is how I learned that peace often feels subtle, so subtle. And can it be mistaken for nothing?
That gentleness is a form of intelligence and knows when to stop. To trust what is fine and leaving us what is quiet has been consistent all Loving you is how I learned to trust what moves without my permission, to watch life continue its intricate choreography without consulting my preferences, and to feel relief instead of alarm. I did not realize how often I mistook control for participation, how tightly I equated guidance with existence itself, as if anything unsupervised would collapse into disorder. Loving you is how I learned that the heart beats without committee, that breath organizes itself without instruction, that healing begins long before awareness decides to approve it. There is an intelligence working quietly beneath intention. Loving you is how I learned to witness that intelligence without interrupting it with commentary, to let processes unfold without converting them into projects. Not everything requires improvement. Some things require space. Loving you is how I learn to feel the elegance of systems that do not announce themselves. Cells repairing, memories reordering, emotions digesting in rhythms too subtle for command. Life was never waiting for my instructions. It was waiting for my trust. Loving you is how I learned that surrender is not passivity, but collaboration with a movement already in progress. I am not stepping aside, I am stepping in without insisting on steering. Loving you is how I learn to trust what moves without my permission, and to rest inside the discovery that I was always being carried by forces that never required my vigilance to remain faithful.
Loving you is how I learned to walk
at the speed of life, Not the speed I imagined, not the speed I wanted, the speed that is actually possible.
I used to push days forward like doors that wouldn't open fast enough. I leaned my weight into tomorrow before today had finished speaking. Loving you is how I slowed without feeling left behind. I notice how life does not run, it moves in pulses. Loving you is how I learned that some answers arrive only when questions are forgotten, that clarity is often a byproduct of patience. Loving you is how I learned to let fatigue speak, to hear what tiredness is asking for before forcing myself to continue. Sometimes it asks for rest, sometimes it asks for honesty. Loving you is how I learned that my worth is not measured by momentum. There are days where staying still is the most faithful thing. Loving you is how I learned to stop negotiating with time. I don't promise to do better later, I do what I can now.
Loving you is how I learned
that care is repetitive. You don't prove it once, you return to it again. Loving you is how I learned that love matures quietly. There is no announcement. When it becomes deep, it just becomes steady. Loving you is how I learned to accept change without interpreting it as loss. The body shifts, the heart rearranges, priorities soften. This is not failure, this is living. Loving you is how I learned to stay present when excitement fades, when life feels flat or unremarkable. This is where endurance grows. Loving you is how I learned to let joy be simple, not fireworks, not proof, just ease arriving uninvited. Loving you is how I learned to trust the ordinary. Ordinary days are not empty, they are full of continuity. Loving you is how I learned to walk at the speed of life, slow enough to feel, gentle enough to last.
Loving you is how I live my days, not something separate, not something I turn on and off. It's woven into everything I do. The way I wake up, already thinking of you, not in longing, but in familiarity.
possession,
just existing like air.
oh, loving you is how I live my days. When we talk about small things, what to eat,
What to buy,
what to fix, these conversations build a life,
not excitement,
but structure. I feel safe inside that structure. Loving you
is how I live my days.
is how I live my days.
When we don't talk much,
When silence fills the room,
and it doesn't feel awkward.
it feels earned. We've talked enough to rest now.
Loving you is how I live my days.
When I'm not,
At my best.
when I'm tired, irritated, distant, you don't take it personally. You stay close, without pressure. That teaches me how to love you back. Loving you is how I live my days.
I live my days.
When we disagree,
We don't rush resolution.
we let emotions cool, we return.
When we're ready,
Love grows in that patience. Loving you is how I live my days. As time keeps moving,
weeks pass,
months pass, and love doesn't disappear.
it changes texture.
Less sharp, more deep. Loving you
Is how I live my days.
into the night.
We fall asleep side by side,
Not clinging, not afraid,
just calm.
knowing tomorrow we'll wake up and do this again.
Loving you is how I live my days. Ooh, ooh,
Loving you is how I make peace with the person I am becoming. Not the person I planned, not the person I once imagined, but the person standing here now. I used to argue with change. I thought if I resisted long enough, things would return to how they were.
Loving you is how I learned that nothing returns.
It only continues in a new shade. Loving you is how I stopped mourning old versions of myself. They were necessary for their time. They are not required anymore.
Loving you is how I learned
To look at my reflection without negotiation. Some lines are deeper, some softness is gone,
some strength has shifted.
none of this is a betrayal.
Loving you is how I learned
That growth is not always visible. Sometimes it looks like slowing down, sometimes like choosing less, sometimes like silence.
Loving you is how I learned
To forgive myself for what I didn't know earlier. I was not careless, I was learning.
Loving you is how I learned
To let regret sit beside me without letting it lead. Regret does not
disappear.
It softens when it is acknowledged.
Loving you is how I learned to stop chasing a finished version of life.
There is no final draft.
While leery will
Loving you is
change,
how I learned to stop chasing that finished version.
this is not weakness, this is honesty.
Loving you is how I learned
That peace is not excitement. Peace is steadiness. The ability to remain without bracing.
Loving you is how I learned
To welcome uncertainty as part of being alive. Not everything needs clarity.
Some things need patience.
Loving you is how I make peace with the person
I am becoming, not because I am complete
but because I am.
and real, and real is enough.
Is enough.
Loving you is how I make peace with time. I no longer argue with its passing. I walk beside it. Loving you is how I make peace with things ending. Moments close, chapters fade. I don't grab to keep them alive, I let them rest. Loving you is how I make peace with memory. Some memories shine, some ache. I don't sort them into good or bad. They all brought me here. Loving you is how I make peace with a body slowing. Breathe deepens, movement simplifies. I don't feel reduced, I feel distilled. Loving you is how I make peace with less.
Less noise, less urgency,
Less desire to prove
less
becomes enough. Loving you is how I make peace with repetition. The same walks, the same meals. Repetition becomes ritual, and ritual becomes meaning. Loving you is how I make peace with unspoken things. Not everything needs words. Some understanding lives better in presence. Loving you is how I make peace with regret.
I don't rewrite the past, I honor how I survived.
Loving you is how I make peace with uncertainty. The future things I don't demand clarity. I trust the Loving you is how I make peace with love changing.
Love softens, deep and slow.
It doesn't leave
Loving you is how I make peace
with time, because time doesn't feel like loss. It feels like distance. We walk together.
Loving you is how I make peace.
Oh, into sleep, letting another day close without fear of what remains. Loving you is hardscape, with everything that comes, without asking it to be different. I used to meet each day like a question, like something I had to solve before light arrived. Now days come, and I sit with them as they unfold piece by piece. Loving you is how I learned that nothing needs to be rushed. Not joy, not pain, not even healing. Healing happens when it wants to, not when I demand it. Loving you is mine, to sit with discomfort without translating it into fear. Sometimes the body aches, sometimes the heart feels heavy, sometimes the mind circles. I hit all of its circle until it finds its own rest. Loving you is how I stop evident myself to be easier to love. I arrive as I am, unfinished, uncertain, sometimes quiet, sometimes too much, and you stay. Loving you is how I stop eating constant clarity.
I don't need to know
Where this is going, or how it will end. Only need to know that right now I am here
and not alone.
Loving you is how I learn that silence does not mean distance. Some of our quietest moments are the closest ones. Breathing in the same room, listening for the same evening, letting the day accept my living. Sunlight, it walks with us. Ooh, yeah. To receive care. Loving you is how I stop asking for proof, not evidence, not reassurance,
Not constant confirmation.
I don't need to be reminded every moment. Your presence is already an answer.
Loving you is how I
Stop asking for proof in small silences. When messages take longer, when days are full, I don't invent meaning where there is none. I trust
what we've built.
loving you is how I stop asking for proof of my worth. I don't measure myself by how much you need me. You choose me.
Freely
That choice.
is enough.
Loving you is how I stop asking for proof during conflict. I don't need to win to feel loved.
We can disagree and still belong.
To each other. Loving you is how I stop asking for proof in affection. I don't count gestures.
I feel intention.
Love doesn't need constant performance. Loving you is how I stop asking for proof in the future. I don't demand guarantees. I don't ask what if I live in what is happening now. Loving you is how I stop asking for proof when emotions fluctuate. Some days are warm, some days neutral. Love isn't measured by intensity. It's measured by staying. Loving you is how I stop asking for proof from myself. I don't force confidence. I allow doubt and still remain. Loving you is how I stop asking for proof as time moves forward. I don't fear forgetting or being forgotten. I feel woven into your love. Loving you is how I stop asking for proof. Into sleep, nothing to check, nothing to confirm.
Just trust.
Settling in the rest. Loving you is how I stop asking life to explain itself. I used to demand reasons for every feeling, every turn, every loss. I wanted logic to protect me. Loving you is how I learned that explanation is not comfort. Presence is. Loving you is how I learned to sit with questions without chasing answers. Some questions are not meant to be closed. They keep us open. Loving you is how I learned that confusion is not failure. It is awareness stretching. Loving you is how I learned to stop narrating pain while it is happening. Pain needs space, not commentary. Loving you is how I learned that healing is not linear. Some days feel lighter, then heaviness returns. This is not regression, this is rhythm. Loving you is how I learned to let emotions arrive without assigning them meaning. Sadness doesn't always point to something wrong. Sometimes it is just weather. Loving you is how I learned to stay present even when understanding is absent. Understanding comes later. Presence is now. Loving you is how I learned to trust that life knows what it is doing, even when I don't. Loving you is how I learned to stop translating everything into lessons. Some moments are just lived. Loving you is how I learned that peace does not require clarity. Peace can exist alongside mystery. Loving you is how I stopped asking life to explain itself and started letting it happen. Loving you is how I stop asking mouth to prove itself. I used to demand silence, plenty, confirmation, as if love owed me explanation.
Loving you is how I learn
that life does not argue, it unfolds.
Loving you is how I learn
just stop interrogating happiness. Happiness does not survive being questioned too closely. that peace ready announces itself. It arrives quietly and waits to be noticed. Loving you is how I learn that not everything meaningful feels intense. Some things feel steady. Loving you is how I learn to trust days that look ordinary. Ordinary days carry the weight of a land. Loving you is how I learn. Just stop measuring progress by visible change. Some change beyond denial, and telling me more Sometimes it comes as continuity. Loving you is hard like uncertainty. Is not the opposite of faith.